Here we're taking a look at the Canon 600D 3Ti camera, capable of taking 18 megapixel pictures in both RAW and JPEG, along with 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second and 720p at 60 frames per second. One of the greatest features of the Canon 3Ti is the articulating movable LCD screen, which is great for shoulder-mounted rigs. Okay, here we are in the Canon 3Ti settings. We're going to take a look at some of what this camera can do. And we're actually going to go into the quality for the pictures and photos. And here you got several different settings. And of course, using the maximum 18 megapixels, you're going to be taking 5184 by 3456. And this next one is basically the same size, but a lower quality setting. As you can see, the little jagged peaks on it. And then obviously you can go, depending on the quality, you can actually take more pictures looking at the number in the brackets on the right. And then so on. And which is also nice is you can also take RAW. And here it's RAW. It'll take a RAW picture and a JPEG. So if you want to post your pictures on the web or something like that and save a RAW picture, which you can be editing later, or you can just take RAW itself. I want to talk a little bit about shooting pictures in RAW mode because if you shoot it in JPEG, which is really compression put on top of the picture, you're actually going to lose a lot of and degrade the quality of the picture, especially if you want to edit later in Aperture, Photoshop, and several other software applications. And of course, each time you save a JPEG file, you degrade it even further. So RAW is really what you want to use. And once you get finished editing your photo, you can save it as a JPEG and PNG or what other format later on. Okay, here we are at some of the resolution settings. And here we are at 1920 by 1080. Which is 1080p at 30 frames per second. And we got 1920 or 1080p at 24 frames per second. Now this one's a little bit different because this is basically 720p, but you can do 60 frames per second. Now I think that's due to the limitations on the processor in there. You can't take more than 30 frames per second in 1080p. So if you want to use slow motion or perhaps fast action, which could be sports, you would probably use this setting here. And of course, this is 640 by 480, 30 frames per second. Okay, I want you to guys take a look at. It's called EOS Utility. And it's a great little thing that Canon come up with. Allows you to download your movies and photos directly from the camera through USB 2 connection. Also, something called Live View. You can do this, control your T3i directly through the computer, which would be great for a studio environment. You can do everything from a laptop or desktop, whatever. So we're taking a real quick look at this right now. And you're seeing live view, so to speak, right now through USB 2 port. And from here, you can obviously monitor the video for shooting in movies. And look down the lower right-hand side, you get histograms so you can monitor exposure. See if it's set correctly through luminance, and your RGB meter for your different colors for chroma, which is red, green, and blue. So you can monitor that as well. And you can also do several settings for the camera, exposure, shutter speed, and so on as well. And then obviously, now if you're taking pictures, it will download it directly to your computer. Now movies, it won't work probably because the bandwidth is too high to do HD video. So what it does allow you to do that, but it will save it to the camera's flash that you should have installed in the camera. So you can do that portion. So I really like this software. I think it's great for the studio environment. Okay, this is a test video of the Canon T3i, and we're set at 720p, 24 frames per second. And what's also very unique about this camera is it does it at a very high bit rate. Comes out roughly to about 45 megabits per second, which is actually puts it above consumer level camcorders into prosumer professional. So that is actually quite surprising. Now, I think it also depends on what resolution that you do this as well, because it does say variable bit rate. And searching online extensively and also doing a little math, it basically makes about file size, which is about 330 megabytes per minute. So roughly that comes out to about 45 to 50 megabits per second. So very surprising.